Alrighty guys, we are back. Finally. It's been a long time since I showed you guys anything on this channel besides in-cab footages and derby videos. I think I posted one. So I'm gonna try and do a complete build video on getting this mid-70s two-door Mercury ready, up and going. It's going to be a duo car, so I will be on the passenger side doing the throttle pedal and shifter and brake, and I'm gonna have a buddy on the driver's side steering. So this car we started on quite a long time ago, before the rules actually came out, and now we are later on in the year. I did the framework one night, put a 9-inch in it. This car came with one of the weird rear ends. I don't think it's quite an 8.8, but maybe it is. So I put a 9-inch in it because I've got third member with pinion brake and all that stuff going on it. And then my buddy, both my buddies, got it to this point. So he did the trunk. We're trying a caddy trunk on this. The rear frame rails are literally non-existent on this car, like they're rusted through, but we're gonna see what it'll do. So he got the tank protector, the cage all pretty much in. Center bar needs to be adjusted yet. I'm gonna do a gusset off the down bars. This is pretty simple bone stock build for Reckless Promotions. They wanted to keep the hood. So they wanted to keep the hoods. They got the car, they brought it to me. They wanted to keep the hood on it. So I put my Lincoln's hood on it. My pre-ran limited wheel Lincoln, which obviously, as you can see, got kind of, these corners got folded under. It doesn't fit very well, but I mean, it's here. It's just there for looks at this point. Like, so we got the bumper mounted. We'll just cut the bumper shocks back. Welded 4-inch and then 4 1-inch welds behind that. We're allowed 1-inch all thread this year. So I am going to put the cross member in it. I need to swap the rear springs out for LTD fronts. These doubled, I believe they're Crown Victoria rear springs are not enough. Just ass end moves around a lot. So we're gonna do the bolt-ins, finish cage bolt-ins, get it running. I gotta adjust the valves, put a new tranny pan on it, slider, gotta put a new third member in it, swap springs. Got a pretty big list to do, so hopefully after this weekend it's done. Weld doors, all that crap yet. But I'm gonna try and bring you guys along. So to kind of give you guys an update, the reason why I haven't been uploading a lot this year is so this will be car number 7 coming out of the shop that we built in here. 7 cars that have been built in here. We have worked on a few others in here, and then I've got a buddy up where I live, and I've helped him. So this is number 7. We got our duo bone stock that we won Cornhusker Chaos with. If you guys have seen that, you know this car's come a long ways from what it was. The frickin' front bumper was touching the water pump. Had to put new front frame horns on it. But that thing's ready to go for not next weekend, but the weekend after. My brother's got his wagon looking all pretty. Nothing's really happened to it. So we're gonna be running these, our limited welds, next weekend. I got my LTD from last year, just finished putting lower control arms on it last weekend. Lower front control arms, because those are weak on these. But it's a solid car. And then back here is my dad's 93 Crown Victoria we built for him. We have some work to do. If you could see, our arm got hit. For those of you that know, when your frame get hit, things tend to bend goofy. But we'll be fixing this one up, going to Arcadia with it more than likely. And then, so I built a car for a buddy of mine that he ran limited weld singles at Chaos. I'm going to try and put pictures up here so you can see what I'm talking about. So it was a 90s Lincoln frame under a 80s Lincoln body. It did pretty good. He's still got it around now. That was my personal first new Ford built to the rules now, which are getting a little heavy, but so I think it fared pretty well. And then my brother built a Cadillac. That's 1978 Cadillac for Border Wars. It got ran. Tranny ended up going out in it, but car's sitting pretty good. It's going to be running here again before too awful long. And then I helped build, well, let's back up even more. So initially my buddy from up north, I helped him rehorn his limited weld 90s Lincoln for Cornhusker Chaos that ran with the car I built. I don't know if I have any pictures of that, but I'll try and post them if I got them. That thing did pretty good. Ended up losing a lower and a ball joint, took them out. Pop tire, couldn't move, couldn't steer. And then I helped him build a 60s Mopar, good old Y-framer. That ended up going to Border Wars in Adel, Iowa as well. It did extremely well, in my opinion, for being a Y-framer. With the rules that they were running, I think it looked pretty badass too. Tried some things, had some new ideas we tried, because I've never touched a Mopar, and he's a severe Mopar guy. I think it did pretty well overall. And then my brother helped on a 70s LTD as well. That one's hush hush. That one's doing pretty good yet. So this is going to be our main focus for the weekend. Gonna try and get it done. Engine is a 355. It actually came out of my very first derby truck I bought. It's sad. It's got a lot of blow by. But so my plan for tonight is to swap the third member. So it's just a 28 spline Ford 9-inch, just standard from 70s Fords. I just threw it in there, no bracing, no nothing. But I've got this third member here out of my 9-inch I built last year. So this has 514 gears, pinion brake. I've got this truss on here that I'm gonna have to cut off that I made for the Watts. It just welded to the pinion brake and then welded to my diff. So I'll have to come in here and cut that off. Pull the third member out of this, get that slapped in the car, and then put different rear springs in it. So that's gonna be what my plan is for tonight. Tomorrow, hopefully, well, my buddies that are coming out to help me on this that I'm running with, they're actually derbying tonight. So hopefully tomorrow sometime they'll come out and start helping me on this. But I'll try and keep you guys in the loop, show you. I'm gonna try and show you guys what I'm doing. Kind of make it like my 98-02 Lincoln build, where I showed you guys what I'm doing and all that stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Okay, I got the third member out. I'll look at the gears and everything before I put it back in this other one, and then I gotta torch off the pinion or the Watts upper controller mount. And right now I'm gonna release the chains. I'm not gonna put any pressure on it, so it might bounce quite a bit, but yeah. Alright, I've got the chains off, car's jacked up. Now I'm gonna pull the wheels off, pull the axles out, get the third member out and swap it. After I get the third member in, then I'll pull the springs out. I need to add tubes to go inside the springs so the springs can't fall off. And then, so I'm gonna try and get you up under here when I'm doing the third member, but I don't know if it'll be a good view, so.
Artlist.io.
Alright, that went pretty easy. I forgot I did pull these axles for spares when I ran my other 9-inch, so they came out easily, but I don't believe I pulled the third member yet, so that'll be fun. I might have, I'm not sure. I highly doubt I did, so you know, those can always suck.
Artlist.io.
Alright, I got the third member out. Just pick the gasket off. I'm just gonna throw some RTV on it. I'll clean that up and get the new third member thrown in there. So.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, well, as you guys see, I decided just to leave the top on because it shouldn't hurt anything. Got the pinion brake on, the diff's tightened. If you see me do anything that you think is probably wrong, it more than likely is. I'm just throwing this together. I don't really care. I'm going to have to pull the third member out again anyways after this because it's just a stock 9-inch, so yeah. I'm going to get out and then get on to pulling these springs out, getting the spring tube thing in there, and then putting the front springs in it.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, I got the axles in and the old springs out. I don't know if you could tell in the time lapse, but there is a catch in the rear end. I'm assuming it's something to do with my pinion brake because nothing's tight, but I don't think it'll be a big deal. So now I'm going to get something to sit there, to go up, to sit inside the spring, and then I'll put these in it. Probably call it a night after that. So I've got this thin box tube. It's like inch or inch and a half tubing. I think I'm going to cut like 2 8-inch pieces, and I'm going to put it inside here and go down so I can weld just to the diff tube, so I don't have to make a plate or something to sit there. And I think that will be the simplest, quickest way to do it.
Artlist.io.
Got them on there and just kind of crappily welded in there just to help hold the spring. And now time to fight putting that coil spring in. So
Music licensing reimagined.
alright, now I got the springs in, so got 514 gears now, pinion brake, coil springs, spring retainer, whatever you want to call those. Tomorrow sometime I'm sure we'll chain the rear end down, set the right height, because right now it's sitting pretty low. We'll get the rear end pulled down quite a bit. Tomorrow work on motor, fan, get the belts on there. Probably gonna run alternator, even though that belt's pretty sad, but might as well since it's there. Probably just gonna run a little steel flex fan. But yeah, so that's it for tonight. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's up, guys? We're back. It's currently Saturday. I think we're gonna get started on the cage here. Finishing it up, I guess I should say. I need to cut the tacks in the center bar and get that put where I want. I'm gonna run some gussets from the dash bar to these down bars because they're a little long. Do that, make little gussets for the corners of the seat, or the seat bar. And I might weld like the inside of these gussets and back there a little more just in case. So I feel like we're gonna be piecing this thing together for a while, so I kind of want everything to be welded all good and stuff. Then I'll start working on mounting my seat, tranny cooler, fuel cell, batteries, all that stuff. We could start putting that in, shifter, pedals, driver seat, door plates, wiring, switches, all that stuff. And then worry about the exterior, then start. I'm gonna work my way there forward. I'm gonna try and bring you guys in here when I'm welding and stuff, but I'm not sure how good that'll turn out. So alright.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, so I found this piece of 1/4 inch I got, so this will be the down bar, driver's side, going to the dash bar, goes to the down bar, same thing, passenger side, and then these two little gussets here will just be going from the seat bar to the door bars. So I'm gonna cut that out with the torch real quick, throw it on the bench, grind it down, and then weld it in.
Artlist.io.
Alright, so got them welded in there. Gussets back here, got those welded, both sides welded up there. That gusset and that plate. I might go ahead and fill this up with weld too while I'm at it here. And then I'm going to work on getting my seat, cut that back piece off my seat, see if it's low enough. If not, I'll grab a different racing seat, because if you guys have ever seen an LTD or Mercury, it's like they're a chop top. There ain't a lot of room up there, and with my racing seat, my head was hitting the roof. So I'll have to figure that out, and then I can start mounting center bar, shifter, start on bolt-ins in the back and all that stuff, and get really going on it. I don't think we're doing any floor plates or anything, just gonna put my pedals in and a dummy column on my side and steering, you know. But yeah, so I'll keep going. Alright, got the seat welded in with kind of just scraps I had in here. I don't really care what it looks like because it'll get cut out as long as it holds. And then I always put a brace behind these aluminum racing seats. As you can see, those dents there, the seat actually folded over a seat bar one time, and that was a nice sharp point. And then I got this seat for free because of that. So I always brace up, so there's no way I can fold the top of the seat over the seat bar. I am going to have to completely smooth this off because that is right where my arm sits. So I'm going to get to cleaning this up with the torch first, and then I'll come back and grind it and then I'll come back, cut the center bar out, I'll grab a shifter and see where I want to put it. I'm going to get the floor cleaned up a little bit, then put my pedals in and see where I want those. I'm just going to weld them in because I don't really care. So I'll get those in there, do the center bar next, and then probably do all the stuff that sits in the tank protector, tranny cooler, fuel tank, fuel pump, all that stuff can go on. And then put the seat on the driver's side, do that stuff just so we have access back there. I mean, I could unbolt my seat, but it'd just be easier that way. So alright guys, I kind of mocked up the shifter and stuff in there. I still got to cut this and rotate it so the sharp edges aren't towards there. I'm not tall enough to hit the pedals when the plate's up against the firewall, so I'm actually going to cut those free off the bottom plate, slide the bottom plate forward, weld it, and then put my pedals on there where I want, I think, is what I'm going to do there. So I'm going to get to it.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Alright guys, got the pedals welded in, well, the pedal plate welded in, pedals welded in. I got that to where I feel comfortable in there, and I think all I'm gonna do is cut this off and rotate it, and then I should be good to drill and tap it for my shifter, and then get the fuel pump over here and put that in, and then start on tank, tranny cooler, and all that. My buddies will be here after lunch, so we'll be able to keep on keeping on. They'll bring in tranny lines. We still got to make a power steering pump work on this engine, swap carb. There's just a bunch of little stuff. I'm going to try and show you guys, but I'm sure it'll get slower and slower as the day goes by, just picking my phone up and all that stuff and trying to show what we're doing, and it takes a little longer instead of just getting stuff done. But
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Went ahead and got the shifter in there. Well, center bar is fully welded. Shifter's in, bolted, tapped. Now I'm gonna get started. I got this tranny cooler up here. Need to put a fan on it. And then I'm gonna grab the fuel cell and fuel pump and stuff and get that over here. So I got the fuel tank in here. My buddy mounted it, or made the mount for it. And then he made me these little shims. So the angle of the tank protector's kicked back, and this mount here is too high. So I'm going to now correct the angle of the tank with these shims. And I would have just used these full lengths, but I don't have bolts that long, so I'm gonna cut them all down, cut 3 of them down, I guess, and get bolts. Get this ready to go in after we get the tranny cooler mounted. So I'm gonna cut the 3 of those now, and then test fit it and see how it works then. All right, we got the tank in here. Spacers seem to work. Got the bolts in there now. This is just mock-up. I'll end up pulling it back out so we could do the tranny cooler stuff, and still got to do the batteries for the all-thread. Now they're on their way, so I'm probably going to get the angle iron ready for this tranny cross member to put it in and start on, I don't know, maybe get some all-thread cut for the battery box. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. So. Alright guys, I decided to actually just go ahead and change the carburetor and get started on some of this stuff. So this is just a Quadrajet, and I'm going to be putting my Holley 4412 on it, which is right there. Put that bad boy on it, and yeah, then we're one step closer. Got to do plug wires, throttle cable bracket, just a bunch of that stuff. I'm just going to set you guys back up on time lapse and get started on this.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license.
Alright, I got the carb on. It's just bolted, and then I have an old homemade throttle cable bracket I put on quick. Now I think we're gonna work on tranny cooler, fan stuff back there before we put the driver's side seat in. Alright guys, I'm gonna do the driver's side door plate for now. We're doing inner door plates on this. I'm gonna get it marked out and then cut it, and I'll have you guys on time lapse.
Reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Got the door plate welded in. We're not allowed to attach the bottom, so I'm not. Got it welded up front, so hopefully it won't come in at all. I don't know. Got the steering column mounted. Seat's in here. He's trying to weld the seat down right now. He's concentrating.
What?
Action. Oh, hell yeah. Weld it. Oh, no helmet or nothing. You arced it. Do what? Alright, seat's going in. Then we're gonna, since we got steering hooked up, we're just gonna push it out onto the trailer and pull the rear end down to set ride height. And then after that, we'll probably put the new transmission pan on, cross member. Ryan got the car steering pump on, belt on. We need a different belt to go around the crank too. So get this 9,000 RPM screamer of a motor going. Got the door plate done on this side. Ended up doing a two-piece. Tied it in. Now we're gonna get it thrown on the trailer and pull the rear end down so we can get started on training cross member and doing other stuff like that. Got the car outside. We're gonna chain the rear end down. Get ride height set. I don't know how we're gonna chain it yet. maybe take the chains and go throw a bolt through there, because I didn't like how far back it set off that shock mount. But we'll see.
Music licensing reimagined.
So got the rear end pulled down on the car, working on power steering, got the lines on. So when my buddy put the motor tranny in, he hit the pan with a forklift and it broke. Just ignore that. It broke the filter off and we didn't get a new filter, so they're pulling a filter off a transmission core I've got sitting outside. Got the radiator ratchet strapped in. I'm gonna power steering on, fan on, then we'll get ready to cross member in, wire it, fuel pump, fuel tank, all that good stuff. So, yeah. Alright guys, little quick fast forward. So we got both belts on, radiator hoses, we need to change that lower one, radiator's ratchet strapped in, got the throttle cable bracket working, spring on, plug wires on, plug wire protector, spark plug wire protectors, getting ready to wire it, putting tranny lines on. Had to put a 90 to get the line long enough. Got the battery clamp on, fuel tanks in, pumps in there, down in there. Brakes are bled, shifters on, need 2 sliders in there as well, tranny cross members in. Trying to get after it so we can get this thing running tonight, so I guess I'll keep you guys updated. Well, end of the night update. It's getting to be pretty late. Got it running, driving. It's just I gotta come back tomorrow and clean up the wiring and route stuff a little better. I think valve seals are gone, or rings are non-existent, because it smokes nice and good, but it'll be alright. Gotta put a new lower hose on it, because that ain't gonna work. Space up the transmission, put a different tail shaft housing on it, because speedometer cable thing area's broke. Rear diff growls a little bit for some reason, but it'll be alright. Got it full diff fluid, so let's come back, finish the car up tomorrow. So that'll be it for tonight. Alright, we're up to a evening or afternoon update already. I didn't get up here good time. So we're gonna do a good old leak check. As you can see, the radiator is leaking, so that's great. And by the size of the puddle and how fast it's leaking, that started this morning for some reason. So that's cool. Engine, I already knew the front main's out, but it ain't leaking for some reason. There is oil in it. It's like water. Rear main, I mean, it's got oil plug, looks like it leaks a little bit. I got brand new oil for it. But now if we come under here, you can see it doesn't like its shift juice. So we tried to seal up the shifter bracket area and it still don't like it. So that leaks. We got the transmission dipstick, has like a rubber O-ring thing, leaks out of there. Okay, we've got a lot of leaks. Okay, tail shaft housing leaks, need to replace it. Okay, so that's great. Carbs on here at an angle, which is interesting. Just don't understand that yet. But so yeah, today I'm gonna weld doors, finish car up, fix leaks. If we can't fix leaks, I'm gonna push the car outside because it's a lot of training fluid on the ground. So gotta tidy up that mess. Cover batteries, 4-point harnesses, camera mount, brake line needs tied up, doors need welded, roof sign. Front clip's fine, need to fix radiator, I guess, or leave it. Fix transmission leak, get a new lower radiator hose. Wire up the alternator, see if that works, because these batteries are kind of shot. And then I need to make a steering column thing from my side, so I can have something to hold on to, and then I need to do a window net later. I need to do window nets on both sides, but I only have enough for one side because it takes like 20 foot per side. Because this car is 927 foot long. So, alright, that's my morning update. I'll show you guys what we decide to do with this later. Alright guys, we are back. Got the alternator wired up, just jumped these two together, ran that back to the battery, and then this white wire goes to a switch. So we got that on there. I got all the wiring zip tied up, brake line zip tied, tranny lines are down, caps zip tied on there. Kind of tidied up the battery stuff back here. Got my harness in, not necessarily the most correct way to do it, but we got that. He's getting that one in there. I've got the seat bar drilled and tapped for the back over there. He put the new yoke on, or new tail shaft housing, and silicone the two bolts, so hopefully the trans quits leaking. That still leaks, so I don't know if we're just gonna swap radiators or what, or try and fix it. I don't know, but I'm gonna get the steering shaft in on my side. I'm just gonna run flat stock or round stock back for the steering wheel, then gusset it with these so it don't break off. And yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated. Then we'll get the doors welded, and I'll do the window strap on this side, or window net on my side, and then the roof sign, and then try and get this thing running a little better later, hopefully. So I have different tires I'm going to put on the front. I'm just not a fan of these. Tires are probably older, have been derbied like 20 years ago or something, so they're old. I'm going to get different tires on the front. Alright guys, we're back. Ended up putting some different front tires on it because I wasn't happy with how squishy the other ones were. Dealing with AC condenser stuff, we're going to put a different radiator in it because this one leaks everywhere. Did an oil change on it. We're going to roll it outside and swap radiators and try and swap dipstick and stuff and get the shop cleaned up a little bit. Got the door strapping on. Ended up just doing 3 on the bottom because it's rusty. And then I'm waiting on window net material for this side. Got the roof sign on. Got this window net done for the most part. So yeah, front tires ended up gaining 1.5 inches, so now it sits really tall up front. So hopefully we don't get cleared, but I'll show you guys some more when it's a little bit closer. Well guys, a little update. So got it pushed outside, different radiators on it. We need to get a different upper hose for it because it's too close to the fan. Currently having some running troubles at the moment. I don't know what I last showed you guys, but we got both columns in. Seat belts are in. Wiring's tidied up. Hooked the alternator up, which I'm pretty sure I showed all that. Zip ties on everything. But yeah, so new tires are on it. Well, new to the car, but I think it looks pretty cool. I'm glad we made the switch on front tires. We gained quite 1.5 inches bumper height, so. But I'll hopefully we'll get it running a little bit better tonight. Well guys, this is going to be the last update on this car for this weekend and probably this video. I'll try and get it up sometime this week. So we got the engine running better. Radiator, something's wrong with it around the cap. It leaks like a mofo, and this AC condenser's plugged behind it. We need to build a shroud so it don't get hot and all that stuff, but I think it's a lot better. It cranks, fires right up, even though it's probably 280, 250, 280 already, because that fan's like 2 foot away. So I'll get the window net on. I got a patch. I'm going to try and patch the crush box on the driver's side because it is completely see-through. I'm just going to use like body sheet metal or something just to cover it, just to kind of hold it together. Hopefully they don't complain. They can drill it if they don't like it, but got to do a window net and then drive it some more, get used to it, and air cleaner because the one we had on it was causing a lot of our issues. So that'll be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see more of. Thanks.